Hello people. So let's see how we should answer this question. If there's a technological innovation in mobile phone production and simultaneously increasing demand for mobile phones due to higher average incomes of consumers, why is it possible for the demand-supply model to be able to predict whether the quantity sold will rise or fall, but not whether the price will rise or fall? Here we need to remember, if we're going to try and make predictions, we need to make the assumption of ceteris paribus. That is, assuming only technological innovation occurs and assuming only there's an increase in demand due to consumers' incomes rising, then what will happen? So assuming all other conditions which could possibly happen remain constant or don't occur. Alright, so let's start off. We draw demand and supply curves, and let's assume that the market has gravitated to the equilibrium price and quantity. That is, the price at which the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied is equal, where the two curves intersect. Now, we want demand to increase. So income has risen, and we're assuming this is a normal good. So when incomes rise, demand increases. That is, the entire demand curve shifts to the right. And simultaneously, there's been technological innovation which reduces costs of production for the suppliers or the producers. So the supply curve, the whole supply curve, will shift to the right. Again, remembering we're always assuming ceteris paribus, assuming nothing else changes in the meantime. Okay, now this is a bit tricky because how much are we going to increase demand and how much are we going to increase supply by? That is, how far to the right are we going to push the demand curve and the supply curve? Let's say that the increase in the demand curve is greater than the increase in supply. If we did that, we might have something like this occurring. Both curves have shifted right, but what we can see has happened here is price has risen and the quantity bought and sold has risen as well. But now let's say that the increase in supply is greater than the increase in demand. That's also possible. That is, the supply curve will shift to the right further than the demand curve will. In that case, we might have something like this. And in that case, we can see what's happened is that the price has fallen and the quantity bought and sold has increased. So we can see that in both of these scenarios, the quantity has increased, but what happened to the price? Well, it could go up and it could go down. It will depend, in the case of the price, it will depend on how large the increase in supply is relative to the increase in demand. That is, how much the demand curve will shift relative to the shift in supply. And the question doesn't tell us anything about how much these curves shift. We can only say that they will both shift right. And in that case, we can definitely say that the equilibrium quantity will increase, but we won't know whether the equilibrium price will go up or go down. And that is the answer to the question.